Hello, everyone. This is Chris with BackstageAxxess.com. We are so pleased to have with us today a man of many, many talents, actor, musician, and radio host, Michael DeBar. Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm on top of the world. It's so funny, Andrea there at MSO said, Chris is calling from backstage. Oh, my God.
Watch out.
But anyway, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
By all means.
Now, you have a new album about to be released, so I guess we should talk about that first. The Key to the Universe. Would you tell us a little bit about the record and, how this one came about?
Yeah, sure. A few years back after the power station, I did a solo record with a gentleman called Bob Rose. Great producer. Cut to a few months ago, I got a call from him, and he had subsequently moved to Italy to produce rock and roll bands, and Julian Lennon and a number of other people from Italy. And he called me absolutely out of the rhythm and blue. And said, Michael, would you like to come to Rome and make an album, a rock and roll album? And I said, would very much like to do that. and he assembled, like a director of a movie or something, he assembled the cast, which was, he wanted an album that was guitar, bass, and drums, and my voice on top of it, because I've got that, the voice that flies over that power. And we did, went to Rome. Nigel, my old pal and cohort, from Silverhead and Blondie, and Clive Dealer from Robert Plant's band and Radiohead, Jeff Beck, brilliant, and the guitar player, black dude, Danny Robinson on guitar. It was interesting because we did it in a studio in Rome that Ennio Morricone, the great composer, did all his illustrations for all of those wonderful Italian movies, the spaghetti westerns and Fellini and De Sica and Sconti. So it had a magical making a record in Rome. At this massive place was just so wonderful. It's such a great experience, and as a result, the record is the best record I've ever made.
Awesome, and you mentioned all the band members involved in this project, just fantastic musicians you've got centered around it, and the record has just such a clean, classic feel to it. Is that a direction you wanted to go with, or is that something that just kind of happened in the songwriting process?
Well, it's a great question. I think if you look at all of the stuff that I've done over the decades I've been doing it, since 1972, not 1872. It's pretty much been consistent. I'm a rock and roll guy. John Lee Hooker, it's Sonny Boy Williams, then Alan Wolf, Muddy Waters, and Otis Redding, and it's that. So to answer your question, I'm trying to be concise as I can be, is the feel of the record is exactly what I wanted to capture. When you get a band like that, Chris,
right,
you fly, because you don't have to do that much. I spent my career go championing the sound and come on, let's get. So often it's been a little pushed. This I just sat literally on the drum kit. Metaphysically, metaphorically, I suppose. And I didn't have to do too much. Just like as an actor, you're working with a great actor. You don't really have to act. All you got to do is listen. So all I had to do with this record, and I don't want to be cute here or pompous about it, but I just listened to what they were doing, and we wrote and recorded it in a matter of weeks. It took as long as it took to play, really. It was not a labor of technical searching. It was an absolute explosion of how we felt, and I wanted to make a record like that for an awfully long time. I've been killing people on TV, as you might know, for many years. So this is a radical departure, from hitting my marks and aiming up flamethrower at someone.
Now, there seems to be a lot of theme of love on this record. You've got, I want love to punch me in the face, rather, can't get you off my mind.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that obsession and that love theme.
Well, let me ask you the question. What is the key to the universe?
Well, that's going to take away my next question.
Well, Angel, let's put them together. Let's put everybody together, and that's the key to do. You know, I mean, I don't want to be trite here, but that's it.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've got a lot of deliverance from that. As a guitar player, the key to the universe is E major, you know. But, you know, but on the physical and metaphysical level, spiritual level, of course it's love and compassion. And do we need it today, do you think?
More than ever.
I mean, you know, more than ever, I think it's got to start with the community. So what I wrote lyrically is the idea that the key to the universe is a question. That's why I asked it of you. I'm sure you'd answer with the same answer, which is love and compassion, especially for your community and your friends and family, because that's where it starts, everybody around you, and then it's like a little pebble in the lake, and it'll ripple over to the Middle East, hopefully. But we can't go to the Middle East and capture ISIS. We can't go to Israel and sort out the Palestinians and the Israelis. We can't do that, but what we can do is send an energy out there. And I'm not being cute here. It's just a reality for me. That frequency has to be employed, or we are...
Absolutely.
We are standing in the apocalypse, you know, and I promise you one thing. I will be the house band of the apocalypse.
Well, I can't say I'm going to look forward to that, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. That's what you mean. That's a great question. The theme of the album is love, because what else is there? I mean, what else at this stage of the game, not that it's a game, but at this stage of my life, I'm still here, you know, and a lot of my guys are not.
Right.
So I'm at an age, I mean, you look at the last couple of months, Joe Wynn, you know, Coca, Ian McClagan, my buddy, you know, and all of these people, I mean, Jack Bruce, Bobby T, all these people have touched my life, both personally and musically. And I, thank God, quit narcotics in '81 before I joined the power station. You know, and did Live Aid and did all these things and played Murdoch, and I was sober for all of that. So, you know, I just feel blessed that I was able to go, fuck this. You know, this is a stupid way to live. And it's been pretty swinging ever since.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, you have a video out for Can't Get You Off My Mind, and that tune was written by Linda Perry. What attracted you to that particular song?
Well, two things. One, it's about obsessive love, right? Which I have experience of. I'm sure you do. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but, you know. And I found it really dangerous and edgy. And the other reason is Linda Perry. Linda Perry is, and I'm going to describe her in a phrase that's used way too clumsily, is the real thing. She's a woman in a man's world, and that sucks, because I'm a great champion of equality, and, you know, and she represents and symbolizes that. She's a no-nonsense writer, an incredible producer, and this song just jumped out, grabbed me by the throat, and I think anybody who listens to it will feel the same way. It's just going to grab you by the throat, or your heart, or by your genitals. I don't know.
With your acting background and all the experience you have in that field, did that affect how you approach the making of the video?
Yeah, because Russo, who traditionally has directed Lil Wayne, you know, but if you look at all those hip-hop things, you know, they're really good. I'm not talking about the music, but if you look at them, they're so much more interesting than rock and roll videos. Right. You know, they're very traditional rock and roll. You know, I won't mention any names. You know, that's the point. And I love everybody. But the point is that it's not as with the fingers of the devil, with the, you know, there's a story there. And I wanted to tell a story of what I've been through, and here I am, and I still believe in love, and I was this young punk way before punk. And, you know, and I've led an amazing life, Miss Pamela, Zeppelin, all of these things that have happened to me, and I'm still here, and you can be too, and, you know, keep breathing, work out, be disciplined, and play rock and roll music, and you get the girl. I'm like I'm the Liam Neeson of rock and roll.
Now, will you have the opportunity to tour for this record? Are there any plans?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. FOT is the greatest label on earth, and they are providing me with the opportunity to speak to you, for one thing, and radio and tour. And, yeah, I mean, these guys, they're amazing. People will not believe this band when they see it, because it's not aggressive mad metal, and it's not stonesy, bluesy. It's rock and roll in a very pure way, played by guys who know how to do it. And so I would just adore to be standing in front of a microphone right now and wailing into it and watching their sweating bodies.
Well, we look forward to that. If you make it here in the States, we'll have to check that out for sure.
Oh, I think so, yes. Of course, you'd be welcome to it. We'll do that. We'll arrange that.
Now, not that you're not busy with the record, but you have a lot of other things going on. You're hosting Little Steven's Underground Garage on Sirius XM. How is that going, and what's your favorite part of doing that show?
Oh, you've got lots of these questions. I adore it. So I think the primary reason is because I adore Stevie Van Zandt.
Right.
And secondly, I really respect him for what he's done, and what he does. Me and Jonesy were in a band called Check the Pass. We supported Stevie in the 80s, and I fell in love with him then, simply because he's so politicized and he believes what he does. He just did a song of mine with Darlene Love, for her new album.
Right.
Which is amazing. But the thing about the show is that I get the incredible gift of being able to play music for people, not mine, other music.
Right.
So you get into a kind of a non-egoic place where you're being, you're doing a generous act, where you're sharing great music with people. And I'm telling you, it has been cathartic for me, because it's very hard to distance yourself from yourself when you're in this position of having a record and people want to talk to you about it and everything, and you find yourself, going through your life, and in a way, you've got to be objective about it. You can't get caught up in it, because it becomes way too, masturbatory.
Fantastic word.
I don't want to feel like that, man. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to entertain. And I kind of, when I was 9, I heard Muddy Waters, and, shut up. So playing music to the folks out there, and then taking it, and then they email me, and then we have, this wonderful connectivity. And it's great. You go to my Facebook pages. It's filled with love and rock and roll.
Cool.
And people are responding to that. They respond to it. If you love them, they must be lovable, right?
Exactly. Now, you've been, as you've said, in the music business and for a long time, back from the days in Silverhead, Detective. Now you've got this amazing new solo record out. But things have changed so much. What's the biggest difference between then and now?
You. It's how I view it. I view it as fantastic. I swear to you, there's so much great music being played. There's so many bands. There's a 16-year-old girl in Cleveland being brilliant. There's so many great musicians and artists, songwriters and actors and takers and performance artists as there ever was. The issue is, does corporate America take any notice? Answer is no. So what do you do with that? You do it anyway. Nobody's going to tell any of these kids that have talent to stop because the music business has changed and music is free. Fuck them. Get on with it. Play it. Do it live. Do your life's wish. There's no desire for a Bel Air mansion. You just want a good gig. That's what love is. That's what the reward is. The prize is the process.
That's awesome. Awesome. I've got one more question for you, and I think it might be hard for you to answer.
Okay.
You have accomplished so much musically. Acting, movies, TV, theater, you name it, you've done it. If you had to choose just one, which one would it be, music or acting?
It's a great question, and here's how I'm going to answer it. It's all the same, Chris.
Awesome.
It's called expressing yourself. If I could sculpt you right now with a hammer and marble, I would.
That's an awesome answer. That's terrific. Michael, it's a terrific record. I hope that everybody gets a chance to listen to it and hear it and experience it for themselves. And we look so forward to seeing it live if you come around near us. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We do appreciate it so much.
It's my pleasure, and give my best to all of your comrades there. And, when we is announced that we're playing near you, please get hold of Mitch, and we'll take care of you.
Definitely sounds great. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.